it is inexpensive and super easy to pickle, to ferment your cabbage at home. So I'm just taking these first few leaves off because they are not good. Now we have washed cabbage here. Let it dry a little bit, but you don't have to dry it because now we're going to pour water on it anyway. Just enough so you don't dribble water everywhere. So what we are going to do next is to slice our cabbage into half. If you want to ferment your cabbage quicker, then you can slice it into small wedges, but I'm going to slice into 8 wedges this time. I'll just chop off this bit, the core, and go again half. You can use any container. At the moment I had at home plastic container, so I'm going to make it in plastic, but you can do it in a glass as well. So we'll get our container, put our cabbages in. At this stage I'm going to keep the core because it gives extra flavor, I see. If the cabbages don't fit in the container nicely, that's fine, because when they are starting fermenting, they will go down. So after 5 days probably, you will notice the difference in the cabbages. Then I'm going to use celery. I have some celery, some chopped celery the way you want. You can go even finer, but I like it, keep it bigger size. And just put in between wherever you would like. We also are going to use garlic in this. I like a lot of garlic, so I'm just going to put probably 6 to 8 cloves would be enough. Okay. We also use coriander seeds in this. Bay leaves, it's a must to have. So probably 6 to 8 leaves. And a must have is peppercorn, black peppercorn. Next thing which I'm going to show you is the ratio of salt to the water. So we're going to add cold water to this. I was told that you can even slightly cook the cabbage before it goes into the container, but then it might become soggy. So if you want to have cabbage quicker, ferment your cabbage quicker way, you can put probably in a boiling water, just dip and take it out and ferment that way. So you will save probably 2 to 3 days. Usually it takes 7 days to ferment cabbage, 7 to 10 days, but because weather is cold now, it took me 2 weeks this time to ferment my cabbage. So don't worry if it doesn't happen after a week. Just keep checking on that. You see the water is reduced, just make sure you cover it up with enough cold water. And that's basically it. So now we're going to make salty water. So for 1 cup of water, I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of salt. So I have 2 cups here. So I'll be adding 1 teaspoon and giving it a good stir before it goes in. And then we're going to need a lot more water. Some people probably would put more salt, but if you make it salty, then it's not pleasant to eat. Depending on your container and on the size of the cabbage, you might need different measurements. So just make sure you add the ratio correctly. For 1 cup, half a teaspoon of salt. it's not recommended to use table salt or iodized salt. It has to be sea salt or pickling salt, they also call it that way. So what we are going to do now, we are going just to put like a plate on it and put heavy weight on it and leave it for a few days and then check again. If water is reduced, just add more water. You have to keep it that way for a few days till the cabbage is starting fermenting. And then once fermentation happened, you can transfer it to a fridge in a different container to stop it fermenting further, otherwise they will become unpleasant to eat. So once you have enough water in your container, you have to make sure to put something heavy on it. At this stage, I don't have anything heavy in this kitchen, so just find whatever you have at home. It can be a pot, a water jug or weights. It just has to be stable and it has to have some air coming through to help it with fermentation. Leave it out for 2 to 3 days and then check it again, add more water if needed, and then you can cover up and you can put also like a big towel on top of it to help it with fermentation, because heat helps with fermentation as well. So you can keep it in your fridge. It has long shelf life, probably 6 to 8 weeks or even more. How to pickle or to ferment actually your own cabbage, but in whole, not into pieces. So what we'll do, we'll just remove these bits and wash the cabbage again. Just make sure you get into here and wash it thoroughly, all the sides. It's important. So now we had washed cabbage here. So this is done slightly different. So no need to dry it completely because we are going to pour water in a minute. So we are going to take some of the core of the cabbage out. And why we are going to do that is because the whole cabbage will take forever to ferment. We are going to put salt in the core, in the place we took it out, and it evenly would be spread throughout the leaves of the cabbage. And actually, after it's fermented, it's easier to take the leaves off because of the core is no longer there to hold them together. Just make a cut through here as much as you can. Maybe put it on the side so you can cut this bit better. It's loosening up slowly. Maybe I'll go on the other side now. Let's see if it is easy to move. No, remove, no. Okay, success. That was a big pop. So you should have something like this. You can go a bit deeper if you would like, but that should be enough. So what are we going to do next? We are going to put some salt in this hole, just to fill it up. Bring it closer. Okay. place in your container, whatever you have at home, and fill it up with water. And of course you don't have to do it, but I like it with extra peppercorn. That's coriander seeds in the water. Bay leaves. And garlic. No fermentation without garlic. It gives a nice smell to it and taste as well. We're going to put some of this celery, on each corner. If you have at home parsley available, put parsley as well, all around it, and some dill. In Armenia we use dried dill, but it's not available in Australia, so just use fresh one, should be fine. And then we're just going to fill up the water just to cover the cabbage. Now we have the cabbage here. We're just going to fill up water, and we need to put like a plate or a press it down somehow so all the nice juices will come out. And now I'm going to show you my fermented cabbage, which I brought for you all the way from Armenia. No, not from Armenia. So I have this cabbage here which has been fermenting for 7 days now. You can see the color difference, the fresh and fermented one. It needs another week or so to be fermented, then you can transfer it to a different container, preferably glass container, and store it in the fridge. Just make sure your fresh cabbage, after 3-4 days, when they start changing the color, just make sure you cover up and store it for another 3 to 4 days on the hot weather. But if you are making it right now, you will need another 10 days at least before you can transfer it to the fridge. But before that, make sure you cover it with a towel or 1 or 2. This helps with the fermentation as well to be quicker.